Let's talk about how you are going to finally embody self love and really step into the version of yourself that shows up as someone who loves themselves versus showing up as someone who craves self love and does things like external things to show self love to yourself. But how do you actually feel it in your body and not have it be this outside thing from yourself? If you are new to this channel, my name is Savannah Robertson, and I am the founder of Love Your Body Now, which is a clothing brand and a community that reminds women of their inherent worth. And we have expanded into in person events, workshops, retreats, and mentorship for women who are on that journey to deepen their relationship with themselves and feel worthy from within, build confidence from within, and really heal themselves from the inside out. That is ultimately my mission and our brand's mission. So, if you are not plugged in, if you are not subscribed, make sure you do that because that is all of our content. What we do, what we create is centered around all of that. So, I put up a poll for people to vote on what they wanted the next topic to be for the YouTube channel, and it was like even as far as like all the topics that I had on my heart to talk about. So obviously I'm going to do them all, but we're going to start with this one because I actually have an in-person event coming up. Well, actually, it's like a workshop style, and it is called Learning to Love Your Body Now. And really, it's all about how do we find love for our body and step into radical self love for ourselves? Because as we enter into May and June, we are really going to be hearing a lot of talk about summer bodies, and we're just entering into that season where women are dressing where they're showing more of their body off, which is nothing wrong with that, but I think that it can be very triggering for a lot of women because we get in our head and we feel insecure about ourselves, and we don't want to show off our bodies because we don't like our bodies and we don't feel good. So this workshop is like perfect timing with the seasons of everything and what we're going into, and I really want to dive into like the messaging around our body because I think almost every single woman has at some point felt insecure in her body, felt um, maybe just like felt like if her body didn't look a certain way, then she wasn't beautiful. And I know so many women want to feel beautiful. They want to, they crave that feeling of feeling good in their own skin. But we know that as women, we're going to go through many seasons where our body is going to change, right? Like if we have kids, I haven't had kids yet, but for the mothers who have already had kids, like your body changes. As we get older, we go through changes. We go through premenopause, we go through menopause. And so if you only know how to love your body when it looks a certain way, when it's at a certain weight, what's that going to say for the rest of our life? Like we know it's inevitable that our body is going to go through changes at some point in our life. So how do we get to a point where no matter what's going on physically with our body, we still have love for it, we still feel confident, and it's not something that makes us feel like we are not beautiful anymore? So just to give you a little bit of context, like I come from health and fitness. When I first started entrepreneurship and um, started like navigating my career, I immediately jumped into fitness by doing online health coaching, was sharing about my own fitness journey online. I worked in a fitness boutique. So I grew up playing sports. I got a degree in exercise science, I got a certification in health coaching. I have my certification in personal training. So fitness is something I'm very passionate about. And I started off in my entrepreneurial journey working with women in the fitness space and really like on the health coaching side of guiding women on their health journey to help them build that lifestyle for themselves. And what I noticed with a lot of women is a lot of them were turning to fitness and like their health as a way to feel better about themselves, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like health and fitness is such an empowering space. But what almost every single woman was struggling with is this whole idea that once they have achieved their body image goals, once they've achieved their weight loss goals, that will be the thing that gives them the confidence. And I experienced this myself. I went through this myself. Like, I went through the weight loss journey. I lost a bunch of weight. I had the dream body. And let me just tell you, after getting to that point, it does not change how you feel about yourself. Getting to your dream body does not equal you feeling self love. It does not equal you feeling like you are enough, like you completely are in love with yourself. And I think that a lot of us think that getting to that point will give us that. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to make you feel like more confident with your body, but that's like surface level. That's more superficial in a way, because we know that so many people may have the perfect body, but internally their mind is chaotic, or they really are struggling mentally. So we know for a fact that just because someone looks like they have it all physically, looks like they have the perfect body, does not mean that there are things like not going on behind the scenes and that there aren't struggles going on internally. And I can raise my hand and say that that was me. I had gotten to what I would have considered my dream body, and it didn't magically make it didn't magically make me embody self-love. It's not the same thing. And I know that I'm tying a lot of this to body image, but even for women who maybe don't struggle so much with body image but are still trying to figure out, how do I radically step into self-love? Like, how do I embody this? I'm here to tell you that it has everything to do with internal work and your own beliefs that you're carrying about yourself. A lot of the work that we do in my containers, at our events, at our workshops, has everything to do with healing internal wounds, discovering what subconscious beliefs you are carrying about yourself, and rewriting or reprogramming these beliefs, and working with the mind and body to reprogram these things so that you can fully unlock the version of yourself that you know is within you, but you are struggling to embody. It's learning how to close the gap of, okay, I have all this self-awareness, I know this about myself, this is what I'm craving now, this is what I'm wanting more of. How do I become her? How do I close that gap? And so I want to share with you what you can start to do, what you can start to think about as you are trying to embody self love and show up as a woman who radically loves herself and is like in love with herself. Because I know for me, like I used to be so insecure about myself, and I would find ways to validate how I felt about myself, which was very insecure, self-loathing, like I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. There were so many areas of my life where my brain would find the proof of the reason why I wasn't worthy of self-love, or the reason why I wasn't worthy of liking myself. It wasn't just my body that it would find the proof in. It was through other women that I saw and compared myself to. It was through my career. It was through my ability to make money. It was through my relationships. So my brain was very wired to find proof in like why I wasn't worthy and why I wasn't lovable. So you have to at least have enough awareness that that's going on in your life. And I think if you're watching this video, you probably do. But we're going to talk about, how do I close that gap? How do I embody her? And essentially, what you need to do is, if you are craving feeling a certain way, loving your body through fitness or through your career or through your achievements, I want you to start to ask yourself what you think these physical things, these surface level things will give you. Because sometimes we get in such a state of like automation that we start chasing these things in life and we're not really even questioning why we're chasing it, why we think we need it, and what we think it will give us. But ultimately, a lot of these things that we chase, we think that it's going to validate us in some way. And I did that a lot through my fitness journey, my nutrition, my career, my relationships. I seeked out validation in a lot of areas of my life. And ultimately, what you need to do is you need to start to recognize when you are doing that. You need to have enough awareness that that is going on, and having awareness of the things that you are trying to find validation through. And once you have started to pinpoint that, how can you really start to identify what you think it's going to validate or how you think it's going to make you feel? Can you pinpoint, like, let's say you're in school right now and you're studying to get your master's or something like that. And which, again, nothing wrong with doing that. But let's say you're chasing this thing and you kind of have it in your head that once I get my master's, this is what, this is how I will feel. This is how life will look. I want you to start to pinpoint that and ask yourself, okay, what do I think that this is going to give me? Do I think that it's going to like make my life better because of what? Like what? You need to start to identify these things. Do I think it's going to make my life better because it's going to open up more opportunities for me? What does that mean? What does opening up opportunities mean for you? Does it mean that you're going to make more money? Okay, so what does making more money do for you? See what I mean? Is like you're starting to identify, pulling back the layers of this one thing that you're um, using to validate yourself, and really start to like get super clear on what you think that it's going to give you internally. Like, how is it going to validate you in some way? And maybe it will. I'm not saying that it won't, but that's how you can start to get clear on what are the things that I'm doing in life, that I'm chasing in life, that I'm trying to achieve in life, that I think is going to give me something in return, like a state of being. You need to start to like, you need to have enough awareness that you can identify these things. Same goes for like if you have a weight loss goal. Okay, so maybe in your head you're kind of like, okay, once I get to this weight and I hit my weight loss goal, it will change my life, it will make my life better, or I will feel confident, I will feel pretty or whatever. And it's like, okay, so you get to that point and you think that that's what it's going to give you. See, you've started to identify the things that you are chasing or working towards in your life, and that are ways that you validate yourself and your own worth. Getting clear on that. Now, once you have gotten clear on that, let's go back to like getting the master's example, and you've revealed, okay, well, I equate like getting my master's to making more money. And it's like, so what will what will making more money give you? What do you think that it's going to provide for you? And maybe what you've come down to realize is like, it's safety, it's security. Okay, so that's the ultimate goal. That's what I'm craving, is safety and security. I feel safe. Like I'm no longer in survival mode. I'm no longer like having to, right? Like I'm no longer having to feel like I'm surviving for my life. Like I want to feel security and safety. So it's like, okay, so I've identified that that's the thing that I'm after. That's the thing that I'm chasing. How do I create that in my life today? And once you, like, this is like the hack to life, okay? Because you want to get to a point in your life, whether it's self love or feeling secure, feeling safety, You want to get to a point where you have created it in your life, and how you feel internally, no matter what is going on externally, that is like the hack to life. Because once you've done that, things will start attracting to you like it's easy, okay? Because that's your internal state. And we could dive all into like manifestation and how your frequency, like how your frequency attracts like the same equal frequency. We could dive into a whole nother video on that. But ultimately, let's go back to the fitness example, since this is more about self-love. So you think that achieving a weight loss goal will give you confidence, will make you feel beautiful. How can you start to create that in your life today? And I'm not saying the surface level things. Yes, those may help, and we'll get to that. But I'm talking about how you feel on the inside. How do you change your internal state, your emotions, from feeling like, I don't like how I look, I feel down, I feel gross, I feel self loathing, those feelings? How do you shift them to the feelings that you think that you're going to get when you lose the weight? How do you shift those feelings to right now and make them your internal state right now? And it's not necessarily about going and doing your makeup and doing your hair and dressing all pretty, although those things can help. Those things can help raise your levels of that's my internal state. So that is a component of it. But how can you shift how you're feeling internally, regardless of externally, to feel those things? And some of that is going to come from you having enough awareness around your automated thoughts, your automated beliefs, your automated things that you speak out loud, your actions. You have to identify if those beliefs, thoughts, words, actions are going to feed into the emotions of self-loathing, disgust, feeling gross, not liking yourself, or are they aligned with the feelings of confidence, self-love, um, feeling beautiful, feeling worthy? You see the difference is, it's not getting to a certain point in your life and then you feel it. It's creating it in your life now. That is how you start to close the gap of, this is how I want to feel and this is how I feel right now, to I'm embodying her, I am becoming her. It's literally in your day-to-day everything. It's in your day-to-day beliefs, it's in your day-to-day thoughts, it's in the day-to-day what you speak, in your actions. And you have to have enough awareness that if you're starting, like, if let's say someone compliments you, they say you look good today, and your immediate automated reaction is to decline the compliment and basically be like, oh no, like I don't, rather than just saying thank you. That is how you receive a compliment. It's not like, oh thank you, but oh thank you this. It's just thank you, period. That's how you accept the compliment, okay? Just to teach you, in case you thought that, thank you, I got this outfit from XYZ, or thank you, I did this, or, no, just thank you. That's fully accepting the compliment. If that's not your natural automated reaction, if someone compliments you, you need to be able to catch that. You need to be able to even notice it, because if you don't notice it, if you don't catch it, you can't change it. You see what I'm saying? It's literally in the day to day, how you show up, that you are going to start to embody someone who loves themselves. It's not about when you get to this point in your life, you'll start to feel more self love. That's not how it works. Self love is an internal state. Everything that happens on the outside, in the physical, that only that's that is like an outcome of the internal state, because you naturally start to do actions, you naturally start to do things that match the internal state. And that's why sometimes for some people, when they start doing health and fitness, for example, it feels very, very hard because it doesn't match the internal state. But that's why it makes so much more sense to fix the internal state, because then everything external will follow. It will match what's going on internally. So that is how you close the gap of embodiment. It is becoming that person, and again, identifying the feelings that you want to feel, that you think you're going to feel when you get to a certain point in your life, and figuring out how I create that state today, how I feel those things in my body right now. And it will feel hard at first. It will feel weird. It will feel like that's not who I am. But again, you're literally trying to change your identity. You're trying to shift your identity so you can embody her. And that requires releasing an old version of yourself. So are you willing to release the old versions of yourself? Are you willing to let them go? Because if you're not, then it can't coexist. They can't coexist. You have to be in such a state of, I'm ready to fully embody this version of myself, that I'm willing to release the old version, the old identity, the old beliefs, the old ways of showing up. I'm willing to release them, and I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to feel confusing and conflicting, but it's intentional work. You have to show up every single day with the mindset of, this is who I'm releasing and this is who I'm becoming. And once you start to recognize how every single belief, every single thought, every single thing that comes out of your mouth has a frequency to it, it is coming from a core identity belief that you carry. So once you can identify those things, you become so much more intentional about how you speak, about how you think, because you're like, this doesn't match the version of myself I'm trying to embody and become. Therefore, I'm not going to allow it to continue on. Like, this is the end of that. And like, going through this process can feel emotional, can feel like a roller coaster, because you're literally like letting go of a part of you. I mean, it can feel very sad. It can feel kind of depressing, and like you feel these highs and lows. And I want you to know that that's normal. I went through a lot of that during my like rebirth of who I am. Some days felt really good and I felt like, yes, I figured it out. And then other days I felt really low, and like I could feel old versions of myself like trying to creep in and trying to make their way in, and they didn't want to be let go of. But it's like, no, like I have to, because I'm being called to step into this new version of myself and become her, and there's no more space for the old version of me. So I hope that this helps as you are on your self love journey, as you are creating this for yourself. Remember, everything happens internally, everything starts internally, and everything external will match your internal. So remember that the next time that you are trying to make a change and the first thing that you do is external changes, you're better off doing and spending time, energy, money, whatever, doing internal changes, because external will match it. It will match it every single time. So the harder you work to recreate, reprogram your internal, the easier the external will show up for you. So here's what I will say. If you are local to Columbus, Nebraska, we are having an in-person workshop. The one that I referred to in the beginning, it's called Learning to Love Your Body Now. And we are going to dive into this like further. But what I'm thinking is potentially there may be a virtual option after that. So if you're not local to the area and you know that that is something that you're really needing right now in your journey of finding love for your body, finding love for you, we may be doing a virtual option as well. It just kind of depends, what, like how many women join, how many women want to join but they can't. So stay tuned for something like that. If you are looking for more in-depth work, versus like you are really working to become the best version of yourself, you are on your healing journey. Like, you are in this season of closing the gap of who you are today and literally stepping into the woman you were trying to become, and you're ready to unlock her and embody her. We have our Back to You mentorship 6-month container. It's called Back to You Mind, Body, and Soul Alignment. We actually are just starting our kickoff call for our first round of women who have joined. We start that tomorrow, so I'm super excited for that. But I do think that we will continue to offer another round, if not like a live one, maybe a self-paced one, a self-paced version. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do. But the biggest thing that I will suggest is, if you are ready for deeper work and guidance and community in that realm, then you need to be on our email list, because that is where like everything, sorry, there's like a fly that keeps like buzzing around my face. That is where we will launch everything first. That's where we offer everything first. That's where you get the most exclusive deals first. So by being on our email list, you're going to get first access to everything that's coming out, everything that we're offering. I also have a private podcast series that is 5 episodes long. It's only $22, and it really is like, if you're just getting started in this stuff, or if you want to get a taste of my work, how I teach, and um, the things that I take you through in a much deeper capacity, if you want to get a taste of how that is to know if I'm the right fit for you, or if what I teach is the right fit for you in your journey right now, I will link that below as well. And it's just a 5-day podcast series. Obviously, you can watch it at your own pace, or you can literally take 5 days to do it, or however long you want, to start to go through kind of like my framework on how I help women get back to themselves and um, really become aligned again with their inner child, with who they truly authentically are. So I'll leave that in the description as well, in case you want to check that out. And all the other links to my social media, our clothing brand. Yes, I have my clothing brand as well. If you want to check any of that out, I'll make sure to link it below. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.